to hear from some other people, but I might just tell you a real, like really something short. As I am a mum of 4 boys, and as you can imagine, my boys are all very different, very high, I'll say high maintenance. And they, being a mum, I never thought I would have had to have dealt with so many different personalities. So them being a little bit neurodiverse, I have, you know, had some challenges with them. Therefore, me becoming, you know, a source of someone who wants to learn more about them and how I can support them. So I did have a little bit of a health journey as well, which I had, unbeknownst to me, I had some things going on in my body, which, as we all do, we just go along and we soldier on. We put that at the back of our mind and just family first. And since we're activated, and since we're being activated, I've noticed my kids be a lot calmer. They can articulate things more to me in a clearer way, so that we can both understand and be on the same wavelength. More confidence, so less butterflies in their belly, better sleep. And yes, we're all running very well. So me joining the company, I want to share that. I want to, my passion is a lot about children and their education, and being, you know, treated as one, really. So thank you for listening, and I would now like to pass on to a very good friend of mine, Justine Richards. Justine, if you would like to unmute and just share your story. So Justine and I have known each other for over 20 years.
Yes.
Can you tell? We're, look how young we are.
And I just put my glasses on. I should have left the contacts on. But that's all right. So hi, everyone. I'm Justine. I'm based in Dubbo as well. And I started with LifeVantage on New Year's Eve, actually, 31st of December. Cheriee finally got me into this. My story before LifeVantage was I suffered majorly from fatigue. I was constantly fatigued. I had chronic back pain. I slept for 20 to 40 minutes at a time and then had to reposition my body during the night. So my sleep wasn't great and I constantly had brain fog. And since probably the last 5 years of my life, I have been on a very big wellness journey and using lots of natural products. But while they helped and certainly gave me more energy, they didn't quite take that edge off, especially in my chronic fatigue, my brain fog, and my back pain. And so Cheriee had talked to me about these products quite a few times, and being busy, I went, yeah, no. And then I've actually got it here because this is like savior. She gave me a Christmas card with some bottles and she said, I know your time poor, just please trust me on this, take them. And I thought, she's a great friend, I've known her for 20 years, I'll try. And I have been activated now for 49 days. So I actually started taking them on the 1st of January. So 49 days, I'm sleeping better. I'm sleeping deeper, sounder sleep because I'm not having to toss and turn during the night. I have mental clarity for the first time in a long time. So the brain fog's gone, severe reduction in back pain, and I've just got more energy. So I still have my tired days, but nowhere near what I was. So yeah, I am absolutely hook, line and sinker sold. That's me.
And Justine, can you please introduce Gina?
Sure can. So Gina and I have known each other for 5 years. Gina and I met just after my back accident, actually, when I was in a lot of pain and getting lots of nasty side effects. And Gina's been on a wellness journey with me, and I was talking to her about these products, and she was like, what are you talking about? No, if you've got less back pain and you're sleeping, let me hear more. So we shared some information, and I'll let Gina tell her story.
Thanks, Juz.
No worries.
Yes, so Justine thankfully shared the products with me, and I, like Justine, have been on a wellness journey and used other natural products and things, and although they were helping me, I was still having, at the point that Justine shared with me, I sort of wasn't really maintaining what I had been doing. So I was having lots of sleeping issues, and I was very fatigued and very, I would say probably on the path of depression again. I was spending a lot of time in bed. I had lots of pain in my back. I have a long-term back injury since the age of 15 years and a long-term knee injury from 9 years of age, and I'm 54 now. So when Justine had told me how much the products had helped her with her back, I said, yep, I'm on board, send them to me, I'd like to try them. And then Justine was also obviously looking for some feedback because she was feeling so well. She wanted to hear that it was just not her imagining it. So I received the products. As I said, prior to the products, I was feeling tired, demotivated. I also have a condition called lupus. So with that comes brain fog. And I was probably, I had gained some weight recently with some more medications that I was on. And so I was, pretty willing to try them. And the thing that has surprised me most, I'm around about I don't know the exact days, Justine. I don't know what day, how many days activated I am, but I'm around about 3.5 weeks activated. And I cannot explain to you the difference that I am feeling in my energy, my sleep. I virtually have no pain. The products that I was using every single night, at least twice a night during sleep time for my pain, I was speaking to Justine. I think I was on about day 7 of the both products that Justine sent me, and we were just having a chit chat. And Justine said, "Oh yeah, I was out shoveling things at the centre today, and I didn't have any pain." And then we were talking about the pain and what we would normally do, and I just had this realization that I hadn't reached for any of those products at night time for the last, like, the 3 nights before. It was like this really, just this realization that, I haven't actually reached for those products. So my journey with these products has been express lane. I've got super amounts of energy, no pain, and my brain is clearer than I think it's been in the last 30 years, to the point that I had 2,226 emails sitting in my inbox that I just couldn't motivate myself to address. And in the first 2 weeks of using the products, I got rid of all of those emails and dealt with and actioned everything. I also did 2 years worth of tax. And these are things that that's not normal for me to just be so organized and get things done. So obviously I was hooked straight away. And then I had that similar thing to Justine saying, wow, what's going on here? Am I imagining this? And I shared them with my mum for a couple of days, who you can see in that picture. And mum had, mum's thing was that she didn't fall asleep in front of the TV. For the a couple of days after she started taking them, she wasn't falling asleep in front of the TV when she sat down. And then most impressingly, my brother has got some fairly, his wife is in palliative care at the moment, and there's lots of issues happening, and he's extremely fatigued. And I drove from the Hunter Valley down to Sydney with these new tablets that I'd been taking for just over a week, saying, I don't know what's in it, I don't know too much about these, but I feel amazing, and I'm going to drive these down to you and share them with you for a week to see if they help you. And he, out of everybody, is probably the most negative person of trying new products, and he was on his knees and exhausted, and he tried them. And he rang my mother, I think, on day 3 and said, I don't know what's in these tablets, but whatever they are, it's like getting me through the days. So that's a little bit. Like I said, I'm only 3.5 weeks in, and already the people that I'm sharing them with have had really great results, and I am, like Justine said, completely hooked and will be using these products. I don't want to live without them now. So that's just a little bit about my story.
Well, how exciting is that? What a great way to start our presentation tonight. I'm excited to hear those beautiful stories that you both shared. So let's just tell you a little bit more about the product then. Thank you, Leah. Before we just start, I just do want to do a little bit of a disclaimer that we are LifeVantage Distributor, and we don't claim to mitigate, prevent, treat, or cure any diseases. But we do want to tell you all about what we want to share. So every day we are being hijacked daily from our environment around us. So our food, our water, our relationships, poor sleep, our work, the technology, our Wi-Fi, our radiation from our microwave, it is all around us. When we go out to walk for a walk or a run, we have the pollution. We go to the petrol station, fill up our petrol. So we have got basically toxins around us. And did you know that,
hold on. Sorry, hold on. Did you know
that 85,000 chemicals have been introduced since the Industrial Revolution? And this is a little bit, yes. So you can do something to actually eliminate these. And at the moment, it's dimming our lights. So as you would have heard some stories there, we're feeling exhausted. So what is all this feeling like? We have a decreased immune system. We have brain fog, sluggishness, bad mood, lack of motivation, increased stress, and fatigue. So you could be feeling one or two or even all of those 6 of those. And that is an increase of what we call, is it on the next one, Leah, the next slide? Oxidative stress. Now, this is mitochondrial decline and more. So we're going to talk about a little bit about oxidative stress and also mitochondrial decline in the next couple of slides. So science has discovered that our genes contain incredible abilities to keep our bodies healthy. So when we reach the age of 25 to 30, we have a gene pathway that actually flips off. But what if you could leverage those genes and flip those switches back on? If you could, would you? And we're going to tell you how. So oxidative stress is it's everything that we're breathing in, and it produces antioxidants, and our body's natural defense, it actually produces antioxidants. You would have heard the word antioxidants, and we actually, as we get older, they start to decline, and so we eat our antioxidants to create those. So our NRF2 pathway, did that go too fast?
Is it working?
Slide? Is that supposed to
it just is going. That's automatic.
Okay. So we have an NRF2 pathway in our genes, and that gets flipped off around the ages 25 to 30, as I just said. And our science behind our NRF2 synergizer actually, it's proven to reduce oxidative stress and increase glutathione by 300%. With five natural herbs. Let me just flip my page over. With 5 natural herbs. Now, you would have probably heard of some of those. Turmeric, I'm sure you would have heard that. It's great for inflammation. Green tea, your powerful antioxidant. Bacopa might be a new one that you may not have heard of. And ashwagandha, they're great for your adrenals and your brain, anxiety and joint pain. And milk thistle is amazing for your liver cleansing. And what the NRF2 synergizer is it's gone and it has made a perfect recipe of each 5 of those natural herbs to create a synergy which will flip those pathways back on. You could go and take all of those 5s in different kinds of amounts, but the scientists have been working on this for, I think, for many years. I don't have them off the top of my head.
About 30 years, 35 years.
30?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before it was identified that they got the right combination.
Yeah, and so yeah, the combination is the recipe to flick our genes back on. So it's proven to lower oxidative stress, which I just invite you to, if you haven't heard of oxidative stress, I just invite you to Google oxidative stress, or go into, we're going to go to a next slide, probably next, and just it is actually related to probably over 270 diseases that you may well be very common to have heard about. Can I name them, Leah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, technically we're not meant to talk about diseases, but they're definitely linked. We can talk about it lowering oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days, and a few, obviously joint pain, just call it the respiratory diseases, that type of thing. Yeah. There's lots of illnesses that people can put two and two together. Saying like we can cure cancer is not what anyone can say. It's just that we have got tests and studies that do say that we reduce tumours. So we've got plenty of information to send people about different studies that NRF2 does, but you can just Google NRF2 and ProTandem in pubmed.gov and find it out. So yeah, it does reduce, like you said, oxidative stress. So that's the most important thing to do. They've lowered the aging system there. Simply put, like, the whole body needs to live in a homeostatic state, right? So I guess that's the ability of the body to be able to heal itself after taking this formula that reduces oxidative stress. And there is no other formula that's proven like we are, with the only natural formula on PubMed. So I guess I can take it over a little bit from here, because it's about the NRF2 story, but a bit about my story. It's really simple. Thanks, Cheriee, so much for all of that introduction to NRF2, because all the science has been based around NRF2 up until we have developed, as a pioneering company, NRF1 pathway and other pathways that are impacting people's, eyes and brain and energy, like boosted to the max. So because it's your mitochondria that I'm about to talk about. But a little bit about my story. It's really simple. I used these products out of, I don't know, like not frustration, but I had to quit my job, and my daughter was sick all the time, and she was taking way too many chemicals with respiratory problems. I was just sick and tired as a mum, working full time, looking after my kids, and that this wasn't my first child that had problems with the respiratory. It was my second one. So as you can imagine, 8 years of just no sleep. The second one comes along, and I thought, God, there's got to be better science out there. And I've been talking to this lady, Kim Colleen, for a year, but I'm just a bit stubborn, and I just didn't listen. So I really want you to implore you to open your ears tonight and just really listen to the research and hear the science, and how exciting it is that we live in these times, because I couldn't believe there was something natural out there that helped me like it did. Yes, it's not a cure, but she literally started having her bouts were less and less and less. So it spread out from every 10 days to every 2 months to every 3 months to every 6 months. And now, once or twice a year, my life has completely flipped on its head. As Cheriee said, this is linked to 280 diseases. That's just oxidative stress. I mean, they're finding more and more. But if you want any more personal testimonies, I can vouch for my husband's lungs. I can vouch for my own things that, I've recovered in. Like, I don't have the sensitivities, little things that you just wouldn't notice in my teeth that I used to have. So really, science is phenomenal right now, and we are leading the way in a movement that we need to get this story out there to people, that they can live better and healthier. And just share it anyway. It's up to you to do your research and see what you feel, but it can't hurt, because it's all herbs. NRF2 is likely to be the most important health promoting approach in the foreseeable future. This is what Washington State University said, into the foreseeable future. And it also may become the most extraordinary breakthrough in the history of health and medicine. So things like stents in arteries and penicillin, they were really big breakthroughs in medicine. So for somebody like Washington State University, say that's phenomenal. This is groundbreaking. research. 4-month trial, we are with and without Protandim. NRF2 and the aging graph here shows that as we age, antioxidant levels drop significantly. So let's add NRF2 into the mix over a 4-month period and see what happens. Well, the patented formula of NRF2 and Protandim, we could not any longer tell the difference in the age, the antioxidant protections of the bloods of an 80-year-old and a 20-year-old. So that's really amazing. It's perfect protection against the harms that can come with age and frailty and disease. So we want to live longer, but we just want to live healthier. So again, like Cheriee mentioned before, just Google it. Look at the free radical biology medical journals that we're in. Look at oxidative stress. This isn't like snake oil. This is research by the American Aging and Association, the National Institute of Health and Aging, Ohio State University, enzyme research. They are looking at genetics. They are looking at regulations. The American Heart Association endorsed NRF2 activation for a healthy cardiovascular in all their patients. So doctors know about it, some don't, some do. We're an independent company, we're not pharmaceutically owned, but there are 245,000 studies, plus studies. On every day there's a new study that comes out on oxidative stress and how it's linked to another condition. So you'll be astonished if you did have a look at the free radical exposure that we're all subjected to daily. You would be amazed, because I used to think my body could just cope, but it can't. I just thought, no, God made me, I can cope. It's just not the way. You can't get from what you can get out of Protandim to help the health of your mitochondria in your cell that you can until you take these tablets. So next we began to look at this because we wondered how people got sick anyway, but then we wanted to really flip on the switches, and we're talking mitochondrial function. This is like the batteries of the car, or really getting a good car service rather than just running your car to the ground. So what does this do? There's at least 5,000 mitochondria per cell. So as you can imagine, for them to function properly for the maximum capacity that a heart even requires to pump blood through the body, you want them at maximum capacity, not at limited capacity. So the most concentrated amounts of these are in the cells of lungs of men and heart in men, but in uterus of women, funnily enough. So, I mean, go figure. There are many thousands in our biggest organ, the skin, and then neurologically in our brain cells. This is key to longevity of our nervous system surrounding the body and the brain functioning optimally. And truly believe in this mitochondrial decline. It reduces the power of your cell. It's like a bad photocopy machine. The body can't fight against the defense mechanisms that it's needed. So as we age, we know our cells rust, they decline, aren't as well toned anymore, so to say. They duplicate good mitochondria. They don't duplicate good mitochondria anymore. So they in fact do the opposite. So that's dire for our health. What we want is to flip that switch. This is the easiest and most effective way with the most amazing potent ingredients to activate the pathways. It's a biogenesis pathway. Yes, it sounds sciencey, but guys, you just got to get this stuff into you, because the NRF1 synthesizer increases the production of your NRF1 genes by nearly 70%. So, you can't get that from food. I'm sorry, but this is nutrition. It is nutrigenomics. These are the ingredients: acetyl-carnitine, quercetin, alpha-lipoic acid, grape extract, coenzyme Q10. Ask us after if you have any questions about any one of those ingredients. Very good for healthy for the heart, anti-aging, and so many things for the brain. Very, very strong, potent, but very great product. I 100% support mental health with this one as well. The increase of production of NRF1 genes by nearly 70% powers your battery. We're activating your cells. What happens in the cell when you flip all these switches at the same time? Well, it's stimulating this cellular pathway so that they start communicating better. It's loading the fireplace with healthy logs after you've cleaned all the soot out and all the ash out. And you can't do that, that autophagy of your cellular waste without a little help. So I implore you to look at flipping the switch. The blueprint for this is it supports positive mood and motivation, supports healthy longevity. improves mental focus and concentration, and also boosts mental and physical energy as well as muscle recovery. That's what I noticed when I was running. I could run again the next day as much as I wanted. Like, just I wanted to go again. So the motivation was there just to feel young and healthy and fit again. Supports healthy vascular systems. Yeah, why live like you can't garden anymore at 50 when you know we want to do things? So the dual synergy is like the go-to pack. It's protandim NRF2 and it's NRF1, and you would take them together. Both of them last a month, and there's 30 in one and 60 in the other. So obviously you take 2 out of the silver bottle. These are our products. And also we've got a healthy new introduction to product launches this year. This is the year for launching. So we've actually got a few other little things that we call the vitality stack, because they really do compound into the health of your body by taking the omega, especially by supporting your brain and your heart, and you know, vitamin D, which everyone in Australia wouldn't think would be depleted of, but we are, and we don't actually absorb well. So there's some amazing ingredients. Please ask us if you have any questions, but what are better than stories, really? We're here tonight to talk to some really amazing people. So I'd love to introduce you to Melanie Rowlandson and Eloise Auld, and take it away, girls, and give us your story on just a short introduction. I'm so amazed by the caliber of people that have come to join us in this business, and it's a global business. So please let us know what your story is just by starting out with us, newly starting out. Other girls online, they can unmute themselves.
Mel, you're good to go.
I can go first if you like. Hi, I'm Mel.
Thank you.
How are you guys? I've been with LifeVantage for only 6 weeks, I think it is, so not very long. I think I've been taking the products for about 5 weeks. So before LifeVantage, I was really feeling exhausted, and actually went to the doctor and had some blood tests and was looking for, well, what is the reason? What's the medical reason why I feel so exhausted? And it felt like that for months. And what the results came back, there was nothing medically wrong with me. Yep. So according to the doctor, my iron was fine, my vitamins were fine, my thyroid was fine, all those things are fine. I was in the healthy range for every indicator that they tested for. And so I saw that what Cheriee was doing, and I got in touch with her and I said, tell me what this is. Pretty much within 48 hours, I think I ordered the product, and it arrived within a couple of days. And for me, it took about 2 weeks before I really noticed a difference. But it was just the energy. You know, I started to feel what I tell my friends, I got my vitality for life back. So what I'm finding is my recovery from stress is so much better. So I do a pretty stressful job as a full-time job, and then plus I do Thermomix, and plus I've started doing this. So I do push myself. But now I've got energy for all of that, and I'm excited about all of that. And on a Saturday, when I'm had a big stressful week, now I wake up and I think, oh, what could I do today? What can I make happen today? I have not felt like that for I don't know how long. So yeah, I'm super excited. And I chose to get the pack, which has all the skincare in it as well. And I couldn't help myself to try it, even though I had some leftover stuff. And I'm just like blown away by the quality of it, blown away by the science of it, that it works specifically with your skin. So, you know, I'm being activated on the inside and the outside, and I feel amazing. And I know this lighting's not great, but my friends and my husband says, you're looking younger every day. Well, I will never stop taking these products. So I'm not the vainest person in the world, but that sounds fabulous to me. So thanks, guys. Yeah.
That's so amazing to hear. Thank you, Mel. And you do look amazing in that. Look at that profile picture of Mel there. And she says the best one ever. So Eloise, can you go off mute for us? This is Eloise from Dubbo, and she is a fabulous mother to 5 boys. She trumps me, and she is one amazing hairdresser as well, and an all-rounder soccer player and everything else that she juggles. You're on mute, babe.
There we go. Is that better?
Yes.
Yes. So I just said, talking about soccer, I'm actually sitting in the car down at the soccer fields waiting for my family to get in the car. But I've also got my mum here with me too, which is lovely. I just wanted to say over the years, I have been having facials with my sister-in-law, who's a trained beauty therapist. And since I have become activated, she has actually mentioned I've got no toxic stuff going on underneath my skin, and my elasticity has actually improved. So that was a pretty big thing, I think, to happen. I wasn't even expecting something like that to change. So, but then I have also noticed what everybody else seems to, and that's improved energy and sleeping like you've actually slept, like waking up like you've actually slept. And I just am bouncier. I just feel happy, which is really nice. And I first started, I used one of my sons as a guinea pig. Sounds really awful when I say it out loud, but he was having back pain to the point where he was crying overnight because he was in so much pain. So he's been taking NRF1 and NRF2 longer than what I have, and since taking it, he has not had an episode where he has cried overnight. So that's amazing. I just wanted to let my mum say a few words as well, if that's okay. So I'll put her on.
Sure.
Absolutely. This is Felicity. Welcome, Felicity.
Eloise has Felicity, yes. Eloise has obviously taught me into taking these tablets, and yes, I was really interested in what was going on with denim. So I've been taking NRF1 and NRF2 for about 6 weeks now, and like everyone else, I've really noticed those energy levels. I think what I've noticed is that as a retired person, you sit at home, or you're actually doing things, but you're at home and you think, oh no, I can do that job tomorrow. Instead of that, if I see a job that needs to be done, I do it. I just get up and do it. So my energy levels have been great. Staying up much later, reading books, which is really nice. I guess the things that have happened with me are much smaller, I think, in degree than what I've been hearing from other people. But I guess, small steps from small things, big things grow. I think you've probably heard that before. I've been suffering a bit of kidney pain in my right kidney over a couple of years. I noticed after taking NRF1 and 2, it actually increased. However, I think this might have been some sort of toxic release and a bit of a detox, because recently, no matter how much water I drank, I still had that very strong dark urine, and that has now decreased and the pain has gone. So, things are definitely happening. My fingernails, I'm growing fingernails for the first time in my life. And, another really, really small thing is I bought a pair of shoes and decided I couldn't wear them. The pain that they were causing in the front of my ankles was amazing. And recently I put them on and I wore them all day. So the NRF1 and NRF2, don't know which one, is obviously improving the tendons in my ankles and my feet. So I'm really excited to know what's going to happen in the future. As with Eloise, at 62, she's not 62, I am, have definitely noticed how much better my skin is, how much plumper it is. And I can see a decrease in the sun damage. So ladies, all I can say is get on the tablets. Don't let anything stop you, because they will improve your life for the rest of your life.
That was well said. I can honestly vouch for that. I wish I knew about this, years ago.
So that's so exciting, and to be a LifeVantage distributor, to hear those stories absolutely just makes my heart sing. To know that you've had an effect on changing someone's life, and then it's just like a roll-on effect. This is just going to keep happening, and it's just so exciting. So thanks for sharing, Felicity, Eloise, and Mel.
Yeah, there are more testimonies in that too. Like Cheriee, there's Una's on the call tonight, and she actually launched this company in Australia with 5 other women. So she's going to talk, and it's very impressive how much younger you can feel 4 years on and look. So we'll show you photos of that. But I honestly believe that there are independent studies on this, and it's all very objective research and science as well, because we didn't pay for any of it. So pictures tell 1,000 words. And let's just see if this plays. I'm not sure if the video will play, but this is a man that had, you know, this affects animals and people. Animals are just the same diseases as people have. We are living proof that, you know, humans and animals can just have different names for different diseases. But this poor man was walking really badly. He was sitting down a lot. He was just demotivated. And now you can see him after the way he walked there and changed after activation. It was just a marketable difference, like such a significant difference. And yes, this does get better year on, guys, let me tell you, because there's a lot of cells to get around to repair. But you can see the start. If you get a fast result, you can see it in animals. There's no placebo. There's no placebo. They can't lie. They can't tell you that this is just a story to sell tablets. We're not, you know, it's not until you see the stories. I've had distributors themselves feel a little bit like horses, like lame like this, and even their husbands not being able to get out of the chair without groaning and moaning. The pain that people live with is excruciating, and to have to go to pharmaceuticals, no thanks. This is all natural. And look at the result there. Like, you wouldn't believe it just by watching that video. You just go, oh no, that can't be real. I didn't believe so much of the no jet lag, no hangover. I was so skeptical, but truly it happens. So and then it's just about that little yellow pill and maintaining your life. And you can look here at a dog that was stray and wild, and how it became healthy and vibrant and younger, you know, again, by people that looked after and cared for it with nutrigenomics. So without further ado, I'd love to pass you over to Una Clossie from the Sunshine Coast. She's a mother of 2 and a registered elite top nurse in her field, and honestly wasn't going to miss out on this opportunity. So thank you for being here tonight, Una.
Thanks so much, Cheriee and Leah, for inviting me to come on. Thanks so much, everybody, for coming on this Zoom tonight. As Leah said, I don't think I'm an elite top nurse, but I'm a pretty good nurse. I've been at it a long time. So my name is Una Clossie. I am Irish. I have been a clinical nurse for 40 years and did my nurse training in London. And I came to Australia, then went back to London for a couple of years, went to nurse in San Francisco, stayed there for 5 years, back to Ireland and nursed for 10, and back out here in the Sunshine Coast for 16 years, all in full-time nursing. So I'm married here. I have a son and a daughter, 25 and 22. And when I was introduced to LifeVantage and these products just 5 years ago in April this year, I wasn't looking for anything. I wasn't looking for a health product. I certainly wasn't looking for a business. I was pretty much working the equivalent of 2 full-time jobs at the time, because my passion is really about helping people, and I actually love nursing. But the people, one of my best friends introduced this to me, along with a couple of other people that I was very friendly with. And because when you trust people, you do listen. But the skeptic in me, you know, you've got traditional, you've got Irish, and you've got a nurse, and it's like, oh my goodness, why haven't we heard about this before? You know, there's something wrong here. But I also, you know, to my shame, hadn't heard about oxidative stress or free radical damage, because we were never taught about it in nursing school. And when I actually spoke to a very top leading orthopedic surgeon, he hadn't heard about it either. So I felt a little bit better in that sense. But when I actually then started to understand, you know, what oxidative stress can do in your body, what mitochondrial, you know, dysfunction could do, and I understood by taking these products, after looking at the science for a few months, that we could change our genetic blueprint. Well, I was like, all in. Let me, you know, just show it to me. You know, but the other side of it was I needed it to be backed by solid science. I could not go and tell anybody about this unless I actually saw the studies myself. I needed it to be natural. I needed it to be unique. And I also needed for it to be affordable, because I am not a salesperson. And that was another little thing that, you know, I had to learn, that this is not about sales. This is about actually educating people. So the biggest thing for me and all of that, apart from the science, was that this was a publicly traded company. So I was like, hallelujah, nobody else can say to me, this is just like Avon, you know, or this is just like Tupperware. Yes, of course, you know, there is a sale involved, but, you know, so it doesn't matter because we're helping so many people. The other thing that I did see though as well was that it did give me a vehicle that I could actually have a second stream of income, because I did not go into nursing for money. But in the last couple of years, you know, my husband works in construction, and with COVID, even in the last year, you know, he has been out of work, and I have not had to worry as much about having another stream of income, because I have one from the work that I did 5 years ago, all by helping people. But I will point out one photograph to you guys, and that's where it says the one with NRF2 activated. In 2016 there, well, it was actually just the end of 2015, that was me at my healthiest. I had lost about 8 kilos. I was doing boot camp 3 days a week, like getting up, doing crazy stuff, and it ended up actually giving myself a stress fracture. But I thought it was normal, you know, to have aches and pains, to have, you know, not as much energy as I did when I was in my 20s, you know, and to have some brain fog. So just look at the picture. It tells a million stories itself compared to how I feel now. I'm 59 this year. You know, I still work. I'm back boxing, doing training again. I have more energy now than I had when I was in my, you know, early 30s. So I really would love, you know, you to understand, you know, what Leah and Cheriee have shared with you today, that this is all about activating your body. It is not about supplementation. So it's very, very important. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the story of the company. Leah, could you just put the next slide on, please? So it's all, this is all about, no, can you go back one, please? The story of the company. Is that not that one? Is that the next one? Okay, well, we are going to talk about trends anyway. We're going to be talking about trends in healthcare. And if you see here, never in history have people ever been more concerned about their health, especially in the last year. But this has been going on for a number of years now. There's been 60% increase in wellness sales in the last 8 years. And I actually had some figures from market research show $300 billion are spent from people on anti-aging, 121 billion on skincare, and $85 billion a year are spent on hair care. So we're definitely, you know, in the right industry and in this healthcare. And I've just gone through, those slides there. Leah, do you have the slide on the company? I'll tell a little bit about the company anyway. So the company was, the slide that says that it was 11 years ago. The company actually has been around for nearly 20 years. And this is what I couldn't understand. If it's been around for that long, how come we didn't hear about it? But for the first 9 to 10 years, it was just a little biotech company. And what happened was they did an ABC primetime investigation where they actually tried to debunk the company by doing some testing to show that this free radical damage, you know, couldn't be measured. And what they did was they got one of the presenters, they gave him the pills, they took his bloods. So the whole thing showed that what the company were doing, you know, was right, and that it decreased oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. So at that stage, the company then had a massive amount of sales come in, but they weren't able to cope with it. So what happened was then they just went back to being a biotech company. And then a couple of years later, they brought in a new board who decided that this needed to be in the hand of distributors, because it was telling, as the girls have just said, a story to story, because people were actually experiencing this. So this is a very, very important slide here. This is where LifeVantage were called to do the closing bell on the NASDAQ, which is, because as I told you, this is a publicly traded company on the NASDAQ in January the 9th, 2020. LifeVantage rang the closing bell. But if you see the way that trends are going at the moment, you know, we've got Amazon and we've got Netflix on the right-hand side, and we've got LifeVantage in the middle. what they're looking at is disruptive technology. So we've got Amazon that's disrupting the way that you shop. We've got Netflix, which is disrupting the way that you watch TV, videos, etc. And then you've got LifeVantage, which is disrupting the way that we're taking on the health world. So that's very, very important. Again, all about activation. And as I said, we are traded on the NASDAQ. So if you're looking to get some stocks, maybe go and have a look at that. So Leah, I'll still just get you to go back just a little bit. Yeah, so I am going to just touch very briefly, guys. We're not here to encourage anybody to become distributors or anything like that, but there is a model here that for anybody, it could be if you wanted to earn, $100 a week, if you wanted to earn $500 a month, if you want to earn whatever income that you want, there is a position here for you. And it is a perfect model. You can work from home, you can work from anywhere, even as a nurse doing, 3 days, 4 days a week work at the moment. I still can build this business, which is really important to me. And for some people out there at the moment, they are actually looking for another way because so many people have lost their jobs. So, we have got a virtual office, minimum business assets, no inventory requirements, low entry costs. So you've got low risk. And all it is about social sharing with people. You get a personal online store and we get paid daily. And, the community is a huge thing for us. Like I have never met Cheriee only on a live, on a Zoom. I have met Leah in person, but we had been business partners for 18 months before I'd even met her. So the community is a lot as well about, why people are very drawn into, joining us and having, that positive affirmations daily and contact with people. So we also do a lot of travel together, or we used to do a lot of travel together overseas, but hopefully we'll be back doing that as well because we have lots of incentives that the company give us. So this is the annual earnings disclosure. And again, this is public knowledge. So very, very important for me that this was public, that the company were not able to hide anything. So the first building block really is a Pro 3. And you can just see, I'm not, going on about money, but just the average commissions that people can make, but they have to work for it. This isn't something, it's not a pyramid scheme. It's not fast money, but you do get the reward every month for, as I said, I get the reward every month for what I did 5 years ago because our retention with customers is about 82% with this company because of what the products do. So, you can see yourself, you can look at it there yourself or Google it again if you're interested. Just move on, Leah. Thank you. So we've done that. So can I do this? Do you want to do this? So, these are all the things that we give you. LifeVantage support, we give you global customer support. We have got the easiest systems to follow, and I'm sure Cheriee and Gina and all the girls will show you that as well. Very, very simple systems. We don't want to complicate things. All we want to do is go out and educate people that, there is another way. We have regular team meetings and training, which we concentrate on skill set, mindset, and leadership. We have regular corporate events and trainings. We have lots of incentives and perks. And as I said, we have got a private support community. Is there another slide there? So this is just the building that we have in Utah. That's the new building. The company, as I said, is in Utah. You can go look this up yourself. There's lots of different, it's rated number 5, I believe, in the best businesses from home. So lots of exciting things going on with the company. So this is another very important thing, Aaron Brockovich. So it's governed by a board of directors. A lot of them are some of them are from like the likes of Coca-Cola and some of the biggest hedge funds. But Aaron Brockovich actually joined the company about 2 years ago as part of the board. So she was instrumental in making some changes as well. It's been awarded many awards for best new product and consumer awards for its True Science hair care system, and that was last year. It also opened for business in New Zealand. It supports Real Salt Lake soccer team as well. We are in 26 countries. We're opening in the Philippines and this year also. So where do you go from here? Do you need more information? Do you just want to go home and think about it and think, you know, I'll get back to the person who invited me? You might just want to know a little bit more about the products, you know, and that's fine. Just do your research. As Leah said, just go to pubmed.gov, put in Protandim, put in NRF2, put in oxidative stress, mitochondrial dysfunction, and you can make the links yourself there. You know, do you want to actually become a customer? Do you want to activate your health? Do you want to actually share this? If it's not for you, and that's fine, you might need a little bit more time. Do you want to share it with somebody that actually might benefit, you know, with a health journey on this? Or do you want to join us? Do you want to share our unique products? Do you want to change people's lives? Do you want to build a great legacy building or business? And it could change your life as well. So there's a spot for everybody. So we walk you through, you know, whatever you want. You just need to go back, as I said, to the person who invited you here tonight and just ask them to share a little bit more with you. So for me, thank you for listening, and I'll hand you back over to Leah.
Thank you, Una. That was brilliant. And yes, for me, it's definitely about the legacy and doing something for my family. So, and it was just about that immediate share with your family. I had 10 customers straight away that all were thriving. And it is really the potential of this company to grow, that how it has flourished, that's made it such a difference in people's lives as well. Because via wealth, I wouldn't go back to a full-time job if you paid me $1 million, because I can now see that achievement in sight. So thank you so much, Una, for your time, Eloise and Gina and Justine and Melanie and Cheriee, of course. Thank you very much for all the people that jumped on here tonight. And please get back to us if you have any questions, because I haven't kept an eye on the chat tonight, so I don't know if there were any.
Yeah, if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to stay on the line. If not, thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, the person who invited you, they will be in touch as well, just to make sure you have any questions. So I'm happy to stay on the line, but thank you. Have a great night.